Joe Rogan's raw, shocking reaction to Shakur Stevenson dominating Teofimo Lopez instantly lit up the boxing world. Known for calling it straight, Rogan was stunned by how thoroughly Stevenson dismantled a dangerous opponent without chasing chaos. While fans expected flashes and exchanges, Rogan zeroed in on the damage, control, and quiet brutality of precision boxing. The contrast was chilling. Lopez pressing forward, Stevenson calmly breaking him down piece by piece. Rogan's reaction wasn't exaggeration. It was disbelief at mastery. In that moment, it became clear this wasn't just a win. It was a surgical takeover. The boxing world is still trying to process what happened at Madison Square Garden, because what was supposed to be a razor-thin, legacy-defining showdown between two elite champions turned into something nobody saw coming. A complete dismantling, a technical shutdown, and a performance so dominant that even Joe Rogan, someone who has seen just about everything combat sports can offer, couldn't believe what he was watching unfold in real time. From the opening bell, it was clear that Shakur Stevenson was operating on a completely different level. His movement was non-stop, his footwork was sharp and unpredictable, and the rhythm he set immediately put Teofimo Lopez in unfamiliar territory. This wasn't just speed or athleticism. This was intelligence, timing, and mastery layered on top of one another, punch after punch, angle after angle. Shakur showed combinations that Lopez simply had no answer for, because he had never been exposed to that level of control before. Joe Rogan, who was watching the fight live, reportedly couldn't hide his shock as round after round slipped away from Lopez. According to people tracking Rogan's reactions online during the bout, he was actively commenting on just how surreal the performance was becoming. At one point, he allegedly said something along the lines of, "This is crazy. Shakur is making Teofimo look like he doesn't even know how to box. We're witnessing a completely different level right now." And that reaction perfectly captured what fans around the world were feeling. What made this so stunning is that Teofimo Lopez wasn't some fringe contender. This is a former unified champion, a fighter who shocked Vasily Lomachenko, who knocked out top competition, and who was widely expected to push Shakur harder than anyone ever had. Instead, Shakur Stevenson turned the fight into a masterclass. He didn't just win rounds. He erased Lopez's strengths entirely. The official scorecards told a brutal story. All three judges scored the bout 119 to 109 in favor of Shakur Stevenson, meaning he won 11 of the 12 rounds on every card. The only round Teofimo managed to take unanimously was round 8. In a fight that was supposed to be competitive from bell to bell, that kind of scoreline is almost unheard of. This wasn't a close fight. This was domination. By the middle rounds, frustration had completely taken over Teofimo's corner. Cameras caught his father shouting between rounds, asking, "What happened to your power, bro?" That moment went viral almost instantly because it summed up the entire fight. Lopez wasn't just losing. He was confused, exhausted, and out of ideas. His power, his explosiveness, the tools that had carried him to the top, meant nothing against Shakur's timing and distance control. Social media exploded as the fight went on. Fans, fighters, and analysts couldn't believe what they were seeing. One widely shared tweet read, "Shakur just gave Teofimo a boxing lesson in front of the entire world. This wasn't close at all." Another fan wrote, "I thought Teofimo had a real shot, but Shakur made him look like he didn't belong." This is what elite boxing looks like when there are levels. Those reactions echoed exactly what Joe Rogan was reportedly saying as he watched the punishment pile up round after round. Rogan's perspective resonated so strongly because of his deep understanding of combat sports. He spent decades training, studying, and commentating at the highest level. When he talks about footwork, distance, timing, and defense, fans listen. During the fight, Rogan was reportedly breaking down details that casual viewers might miss. He pointed out how Shakur used subtle angles to make Lopez miss by inches, then immediately countered with sharp punches that slowly drained his confidence. At one point, Rogan allegedly said something like, "The way Shakur controls distance is unreal. He's making Teofimo swing at air, and then punishing him every time. This is textbook elite boxing." That kind of breakdown explains why purists love this performance, even if some casual fans were hoping for knockdowns and chaos. By round 6, Teofimo Lopez had blood streaming from a cut over his left eye caused by relentless clean jabs. He tried everything, switching stances, digging to the body, attempting to rough Shakur up on the inside. Nothing worked. Every offensive attempt was either avoided entirely or shut down before it could develop. Shakur stayed calm, disciplined, and in control the entire time. Joe Rogan has often talked about the difference between good strikers and truly elite ones, and this fight illustrated that gap perfectly. He was reportedly amazed at how Shakur could stand right in front of Lopez for long stretches while remaining nearly untouchable through subtle head movement and foot positioning. Some longtime Rogan followers even mentioned that he was comparing Shakur's defense to Floyd Mayweather in his prime, which is massive praise by any standard. That comparison isn't far-fetched. Shakur was mentored by Floyd and has clearly adopted many of the same defensive fundamentals. The shoulder rolls, the distance traps, the calm under fire. All of it was on full display. And sitting ringside that night was another legend, Terence Crawford. Cameras captured Crawford nodding in approval, smiling as Shakur executed the game plan flawlessly and adjusted round by round to keep Lopez completely neutralized. When the final bell rang, Crawford joined Shakur in the ring, creating a powerful moment that symbolized the passing of greatness from one generation to the next. With this victory, Shakur Stevenson became just the 25th fighter in boxing history to win world titles in 4 different weight divisions. Terence Crawford being the most recent fighter to accomplish that feat made the moment even more meaningful. Joe Rogan has often spoken about mentorship in combat sports, and this was a perfect example. He was reportedly touched by the respect and bond between Crawford and Stevenson during the celebration. Rogan allegedly said something like, "This is what greatness looks like. Shakur just stepped into legendary territory, and having Terence there makes it even more special. These guys are elevating boxing." This win wasn't just another victory. It was a statement. Critics had questioned whether Shakur was too defensive or not exciting enough for mainstream fans. This performance answered those doubts emphatically. While it was one-sided, the skill level on display was undeniable. Joe Rogan has always defended fighters who prioritize winning over spectacle, recognizing what's truly at stake every time someone steps into the ring. He reportedly pushed back against fans complaining about the lack of knockdowns, emphasizing that dominance takes many forms. Making an elite puncher like Teofimo Lopez look powerless for 12 rounds requires extraordinary skill. Lopez barely landed clean power shots despite his reputation for explosiveness, and CompuBox numbers showed him connecting at shockingly low percentages. By round 10, commentators were comparing the fight to a grown man boxing a child. Harsh, but an accurate reflection of the gap that night. Rogan has often said he loves watching elite defensive fighters because their fundamentals are so difficult to appreciate. He was reportedly praising how Shakur made incredibly complex techniques look effortless, saying something like, "People don't realize how hard this is. Making a fighter like Teofimo miss while staying in range is insane." The aftermath of the fight sparked major debate about Shakur's future. Can he become the next face of boxing? Some argue his style won't attract casual fans who crave non-stop action, while others point to Floyd Mayweather's massive success using a similar approach. Rogan has discussed this tension many times, noting the balance between hardcore appreciation and mainstream appeal. He reportedly suggested that Shakur may need to blend more offense with his defense to reach superstardom, but also acknowledged that clear wins over elite opponents matter most when it comes to legacy. This victory over Teofimo Lopez was the signature win Shakur needed. Lopez entered the fight with elite credentials, and Shakur didn't just beat him, he dominated him. Rogan has always said that beating elite competition is what separates good fighters from great ones. He was reportedly thrilled to see Shakur rise to the moment on the biggest stage, saying something like, "This changes everything for Shakur. He beat a real champion and made it look easy. That's special." At the same time, serious questions now surround Teofimo Lopez. This wasn't a narrow loss or a controversial decision. This was a humbling defeat near his home base, and those are often the hardest to bounce back from. Rogan has spoken before about the mental toll of losses like this and was reportedly sympathetic while still giving Shakur full credit. He allegedly summed it up by saying, "Teofimo's got heart and talent, but tonight, he ran into someone better. That's fighting." And that balanced take shows respect for both men while acknowledging the reality of what happened. Now the boxing world is buzzing about what's next for Shakur Stevenson. Potential matchups, unification bouts, and even super fights loom on the horizon. Promoters are already hinting at massive opportunities following this statement win. Joe Rogan loves analyzing the business side of combat sports and was reportedly excited about the possibilities ahead. He said something like, "Now it gets interesting. Shakur proved he's elite. Let's see him face other elite guys and keep building this legacy. Boxing needs stars like him. And after a performance like this, it's hard to argue." This wasn't just a win. It was a warning. Shakur Stevenson didn't just arrive. He announced himself as one of the most technically brilliant fighters of this generation. And Joe Rogan's stunned reaction might be the clearest sign yet that boxing just witnessed something truly special.